Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at John 21. It says, "After this, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias, and he revealed himself in this way. Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and two others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, 'I'm going fishing.' They said to him, 'We will go with you.' They went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore. Yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, 'Children, do you have any fish?' They answered him, 'No.' He said, 'Then cast the net to the right side of the boat, and you will find some.' So they cast it. Now they were not able to haul it in because of the quantity of fish. That disciple whom Jesus loved therefore said to Peter, 'It is the Lord.' When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and he threw himself into the sea. The other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, and they were not far from the land, but about 100 yards off. When they got on land, they saw a charcoal fire in place, and fish laid out on it and bread. Jesus said to them, 'Bring some of the fish that you had just caught.' So Simon Peter went abroad and hauled the net ashore, full of large fish, 153 of them. And although there were so many, the net was not torn. And Jesus said to them, 'Come and have breakfast.' Now none of the disciples dared ask him, 'Who are you?' They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread and gave it to them, and so with the fish. This was now the third time that Jesus was revealed to the disciples after he was raised from the dead. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, 'Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?' He said to him, 'Yes, Lord, you know that I love you.' He said to him, 'Feed my lambs.' He said to him a second time, 'Simon, son of John, do you love me?' He said to him, 'Yes, Lord, you know that I love you.' He said to him, 'Tend my sheep.' He said to him a third time, 'Simon, son of John, do you love me?' Peter was grieved because he said to him the third time, 'Do you love me?' And he said to him, 'Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you.' And Jesus said to him, 'Feed my sheep. Truly, truly, I say to you, when you were young, you used to dress yourself and walk wherever you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will dress you and carry you where you do not want to go.' This he said to show by what kind of death he was to glorify God. And after saying this, he said to him, 'Follow me.' Peter turned and saw the disciples whom Jesus loved following them. The one who also had leaned back against him during the supper and said, 'Lord, who is that is going to betray you?' When Peter saw him, he said to Jesus, 'Lord, what about this man?' Jesus said to him, 'If it is my will, then he will remain until I come. What is that to you? You follow me.' So that saying spread abroad among the brothers, that this disciple was not to die. Yet Jesus did not say to him that he was not to die. But if it is my will that he remain until I come, what is it to you? This is the disciple who is bearing witness about these, and whom has written these things. We know that his testimony is true. Now there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written? I suppose that wood itself could not contain the books that would be written. John 21. Jesus appearing in front of the disciples again. Asking Peter if he loved him. 3 times. Remember, Peter denied him 3 times before the crucifixion. We need to think about that for a moment as you go through John 21. When you are working, when you are with friends, when you're with family, how true is your friendship? Is your love for another as true as it was for Peter? Simon Peter, son of John. If something were to happen, would you be a true friend, a true coworker, and stand with another when something happens? Or are you going to turn tail and run? Basically, throw them under the bus. It's interesting reading this because that was a conversation I had with a friend of mine over the past couple weeks. Some things have happened to them. And they're really hurt. And it bothers them because of how others will really do not have their back. And they thought they did. And how easily they will just throw them under the bus. This says a lot about a person's character, a lot about their personality. I know what it's like. I've had many people through my career kind of just toss me under the bus for something I did or did not do. Used as an example many a times. Kind of is life. Stinks. Not always fair, unfortunately. But we have to take that and look into ourselves and find out what kind of a person we are. What's the character that we have? See, it doesn't really matter what anyone else does. We have to know what we are, who we are, how we are going to act and react when things happen to others. I mean, those that threw me under the bus, I'm still going to love them and I'm still going to be there. In fact, I've helped them many times after the fact. But we have to decide how strong of a person we're going to be and where we are going to be able to help them when they are in need. For me, it's faith, hope, and love. I really believe in that strongly. And it's not just a spiritual thing. I think that's how we have to treat life, personally and professionally. Because it's having that faith, the faith in ourselves, the faith in others as we are moving forward, as we're building up one another, as we're trying to be a leader in our occupation, in what we're doing. Having the faith to move forward, having the hope that as we go, things are going to happen. It's those goals. It's what we're setting before us that we're moving towards. So having the goal, having that hope, the faith to take that step forward towards the hope, towards that goal. But then charity, love, being compassionate around others, and as we are moving towards that goal, taking others up with us and building them up. It's building up one another as much as we are. As I've said before, for me, as I'm building up others, it's building up myself and it's helping me. As I'm becoming stronger and better and doing that with others, it helps me feel better about myself and even gives me more confidence in myself. Being a shy person, being a quiet person, which some may argue, it's happened. It's things that we need to think about. It is how we are going to move forward in our lives, to do something in our life, to really inspire and motivate others in our lives as we're building them up to help them be better people. Being stronger with ourselves, being stronger with others. So it's looking at that friendship that Jesus had with his disciples, the friendship that he had with Simon Peter. Where are you in your friendship with others? coworkers. I mean, we're not just talking close friends, we're talking acquaintances, we're talking family, we're talking people that you have interaction with on a regular basis. Maybe not even a regular basis, just people you have that interaction with. How are you going to put something in their life that's going to make them better because they have crossed your path? You were part of their day, and how is that day going to be a better day for them because of what you've done? Interesting things to think about, especially in the season. I mean, we're in Christmas. We're, also getting ready to bring in a new year, 2017. So what is your goals for next year? What are your plans for 2017? For others, for yourself, personally, professionally, where is it that you're going to go? What is it that you're going to do? These are things that we need to think about. These are things that need to be thought about on a regular basis. And there's some that do. Personally, my brain does not always shut off, but there's others that really ignore it and they don't do a lot with it. And that's unfortunate. Because they're wanting to find out what's going to make them happy. They're wanting to find out what's going to help them through life. And they just choose to ignore it. They don't really want to deal with it. That really kind of causes me to wonder. So do they want to just be where they are their entire life, and then it allows them to be the victim? It allows them to, throw their fit about whatever it is, because no matter what, no one loves them. No one's going to do anything for them. No one's going to kiss their ring, wash their feet. Well, what are you doing for others that will help them do that? How are you treating them? Now, am I doing this perfectly? Absolutely not. Do I slip up? Absolutely. And I do on a regular basis. Yes, I do. I mean, come on, who doesn't when you're trying to deal with all the different things in life? I mean, it's just, it's not easy. And a lot of times when you're dealing with others, it really is not easy, because as you're trying to do stuff and trying to help them, and, they would rather fight with you than, really move forward to kind of get anything done. But it's things that we need to decide how we're going to do that, and what we're going to do. Not what they're going to do, what we are going to do, what I am going to do, what I will do for them. It really is about you, me, as we are helping others. John 21 is what we looked at. And as I always say, you need to read this for yourself. You need to put your thoughts in there and see what it is that it speaks to you, how you're able to take this story and how you can apply it to your life. Again, professionally and personally. What it is that's going to help build you up to then do something to build up others. We need to think about that. It's interesting. Lots of thought to be done. It's not as easy as we think it is. But when it's all said and done, what we've done for others speaks a lot, says a lot. John chapter 21. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless. Have a happy Christmas and a Merry New Year.